Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're back in the kitchen of the Hillbilly. So we have jalapeno peppers, we have some shallots or green onions, we have some cream cheese. So also in the refrigerator I have a large pork roast, which I'm gonna fillet that around thin, make it really wide and thin, and I'm gonna mix these ingredients together. I'm gonna smear that on the inside of that pork roast that I sliced thin. Roll it back up, wrap it in a bacon lattice, and we're gonna be cooking this. I'll probably be cooking it outside in the pellet stove or in the pellet grill. So I'll come back, we'll start chopping these things up. I'm get them cleaned up before I start cutting them. We'll start cutting these things up and getting it prepped for mixing with that cream cheese. Come back to you very soon. Alright, we're back. We chopped up a bunch of these here. Chopped up the shallots, chopped up all but one of these jalapeno halves. I cleaned them out, but cleaned all the seeds out because the seeds are very flavorful. Yeah, that's it. We'll stick with flavorful. Yeah, we'll just stick with that. You know, we're chopping these things up pretty small because we want to mix it with this here cream cheese. We're gonna get that all mixed together, nicely blended. I don't want to cut myself because this is a really sharp knife, or it has a potential to be a very, very sharp knife. So I'm going to need more than just that 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese. I've got almost 2 more to mix up in this. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be a beautiful thing. So we'll start mixing and folding here in just a few seconds. Oh, I gotta look over here. I'm used to the camera being over there. So we're going to start mixing and folding all that together, and then we'll see how it turns out. Gonna add a little bit of seasoning to it in the mixing process. So I start with the tough stuff, get her softened up a little bit, start to mix really nicely, and I'll come back to y'all. All right, we're starting to get this stuff folded together now, and I got one more block of this cream cheese stuff getting softened up right now. We're gonna add it to this with some seasoning, and it's a little green yet, so we want a little bit more of the cream cheese in here to lighten the mood just a little bit. So we got jalapenos and shallots and 8 ounces of cream cheese right now so far. We're going to add some more of that cream cheese, and I'm going to have a bagel with cream cheese on it, and that's going to pretty much use all that up. If I need to go get another jalapeno, I can do that, chop it up, throw it in there. This is all a mixing to taste. So this has to sit overnight in the fridge to really meld those flavors together. So when I cut the pork roast and get all this stuff in it, it's got to sit overnight at least to get all the flavors to melt together. So we're going to continue on this. I'll keep bopping in here to you guys and showing you what's going on. If you like the Hillbilly food form cutting board, it's glass. My daughter-in-law makes these things for me. It's got little rubber bumpers underneath it so it doesn't bang up on your countertop. I use it as a shallot on my shirt. Someone shalloted on my shirt. I use it as just to hold my Teflon cutting board. Because every time I touch the glass one with the knife, it gets really loud on the microphones. So I'll come right back to you guys when I get done doing other stuff. All right, I said I'd come back for this kind of thing. Let me move this camera over here a little bit. Put it down just a little more. Look at that. Got the block of cream cheese in here. And we just take that and we fold it up, chop through the middle, mash it down. That clanking of the glass on glass is kind of loud, really kind of loud on that. So we'll put the top of that plastic cutting board on top. Once you get to the point where you can just kind of mix it up really nice, turns out really, I need one more light right there. That's what I need. It's going to be really, really good. So I like the consistency of it. Let's get this seasoned up and mixed, and it'll be a beautiful thing. Last time I did this, there turned out to be so much pork roast, I made like 3 or 4 of them. It was ridiculous. So we'll do it just like that. We'll bring out the secret sauce. I don't like turning my back on y'all, but the sink's in the way. Some of that pops rub in there. Looks about right yet. We'll start to fold that in. Smells so good. Smells so good. That'll start. Oh yeah, we're mixing up nicely now. Getting the color mixed in there. Got a KitchenAid mixer right there. But my wife's going to be making cookies with it. I don't want to get it dirty because she'll beat me with a rolling pin. And we don't want that to happen. So nicely mixed up. We got a nice little pink hue to the pinkish orangish hue to the entire stuff here, to all of it. That's kind of what we want. And we'll get, yeah, all the beautiful colors with that, with the green from the jalapenos and the green onions. I'll get a little rubber spatula and clean that up off the sides there, so we can have it all in one, all of it off the sides. All right. Pull that meat out of there and start slicing it up. Come back to you when I'm doing that. Thank you. All right, as you can see, I got about 2 pounds of that 4-pound pork, 4.5-pound pork roast. And I'm going to take my 12-inch scimitar from Kai Pro USA and turn it into this. It's about a 1/2 inch thick all the way through. Yeah, the little area is a little thin, but you take a 1/2 inch pork roast and you turn it into a couple of feet of wrappable. It's kind of dang cool. So we're going to start with a little bit of season and some of this cream cheese mixture. Smear it in here, start rolling it up, start rolling it up, start rolling it up until it's completely rolled up, and we'll tie it tie our clothes with some bacon strips. Still debating whether I want to cook half of the bacon strip and then put the cooked half against the pork to cook it, or just leave it raw on there. I'm leaning towards cooking it halfway, because the side against the meat, it usually turns out a lot more rare than the outside. I want the bacon cooked completely because I like bacon that's cooked completely. So, man, I hope you can hear me because I'm using this microphone on this new Logitech 922X. Hoping the sound turns out great. I really, really hope so. You go over here and grab this stuff. We have the stuff that you saw mixed up earlier. So it's gonna go in there. Oh, I got the seasoner right here. We're just going to go light, real light season on there. We want to dry it out a little bit. Dry out the roast just a little bit so that we can use this. Look at there, it's a spatula. We'll run this on here. We don't want it too thick. I put it on before and it was really thick. The milk fat in that cream cheese sure made that pork roast just absolutely tender. Just about falling apart kind of tender. But if we go thin, it doesn't roll out the ends like those ones did. So we're gonna roll her out thin. You can see the size of those jalapeno chunks and the green onion chunks, shallots chunks. So anyhow, you're looking at my ear from this camera over here. Hopefully your attention's right over here. We do that whole sleight of hand thing. Yeah, that's it. So I do one of those videos where I take the samurai sword and take it out of the sheath, put it back really fast, and cut the apple. You know, everybody's seen those videos, those shorts. Kind of cool, but you know, relatively useless for what I do. So I know I made up a bunch of this stuff. It's not going to take all of it for this one, but that's all right. I'm going to have another one. Oh, the wife's phone is ringing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the half-cooked bacon radish going on here, and this pork roast thing stuffed with the yums. I'm going to put that on there just like that. And that bacon's still pretty darn hot. You see the outside of it's uncooked yet. Still pretty darn warm though. Kind of want to center that in there like that. So that's what it's going to kind of look like. My towel is going to be all kinds of nasty by the end of the night. You can tell. I can tell. My wife can tell. Make an adjustment to that salad bar a little bit. See if that helps at all. I got a little shark vacuum running around the floor here, chasing the dog around. So if it gets too noisy, just let me know in the comments. So along with that, a little bit more, not a bunch, just a little, just to cover. This has got Himalayan pink sea salt, garlic, onion, granulated onion, and some other absolutely fine seasonings in there. If I told you exactly what they were, we'd have problems. A big chunk of it's going to be on the label. as I try to market it. I'm going to try and market my pop seasoning. I know you've heard this for 6 months, but I'm getting to the point where I'm just really close to being there. So I've got samples sent out, waiting for a sample to get to Captain Colin, and his name's not Captain Colin, it's Joe Colin from New York. Waiting for him to get some of that so he can put a review up on his site, the Captain's Lounge Facebook Gaming. So got a weird little light thing going on right here. Don't know what that is. It's a ghost of some sort. Thanks for tuning in. I'll come back and show you pictures of this when it's done, and I'll slice it and it'll be beautiful. I'm going to bring this up to 145 internally, and it's going to continue to cook as I take it off of there. I'll unwrap it at 145 and I'll leave it out there on that cooker for 20-25 minutes, 10-15 minutes, 2-3 minutes, something like that, to brown up that bacon that's on the outside. I'll come back to you when it's appropriate. Maybe.